Black Classical Music is the debut studio album from Yussef days. I've previously heard of Yussef through his work with TomTalks, their collaborative album What Kind of Music, which was a top 5 album back in 2020. And an album that I loved a lot, especially the title track, but it was a fantastic record. And 3 years later, Yussef came through with this, which is his first ever solo album. He's collaborated with various other people as well. It's a very good record, I've got to say. It's a very vivid musical experience. It's obviously a jazz album, but you get elements of soul, funk music. There's like a classical composition as well. You get elements of like Afro beats and other genres. It's a real collective of sound on this album, and it makes it a very enjoyable musical experience. And Yussef, whether composing or drumming, is very much doing it well. Plenty of tracks here I could outline. Rust with TomTalks, those two coming together very well as expected, and there's a real funky vibe to it. Turquoise Galaxy, probably one of my favourites. I really love like the spacey vibe. It feels very creative and very ethereal. And there's a similar vibe to this on the track Crystal Palace Park with Elijah Fox. The Light, featuring Yussef's own daughter, Bahia. It feels like it's influenced by the nature-esque sound of Bibio or the funky guitar of someone like Thundercat. It's just really wavy. The sped up drums towards the end give it this tempo. It's a real big moment on the record. Pondi Plaza featuring Chronix. Chronix gives a really nice message of like love, and it really fits chilled mellow vibe of this track. Chasing the Drum, like the use of wind instruments here or African drums. On Marching Band with Masego, it feels like something straight out of like a freestyle at a jazz club. I think Masego really works on this track, and as I said, I like the vibe a bit. Presidential featuring Jahan Sweet. It's very atmospheric and movie-esque. It has you standing to attention. And Yussef, the drumming is absolutely sensational on this track. His drumming is great throughout, as I've said, but it really stands out on this track. Yoga Pass featuring Rocco Palladino. It's an 8-minute epic. It really is. It just blows your socks off with how rich in musicality and atmosphere it is. It's just every second of this track has your attention. There's not a moment lost here or wasted. And it's a great track, especially when it's so long. It keeps your attention for the full almost 8 minutes. And again, the funk comes through on other tracks here, like Jukebox. And I also want to shout out Jamina Barry's performance on Woman's Touch and Leon Thomas's performance on the final track. Both are very good. The few vocalists we hear are used very well, and they all put in good performances. I just think this does something a little bit different with a jazz record. I do like jazz albums, and I feel like jazz is a genre you must experience in its entirety rather than just songs here and songs there, although you can do. But I just feel like this record is very much an experience. It's a showing of how to combine jazz music and classical music and other black-centric genres of music together. And it's done really well. And I just think it's a really enjoyable record. And I think Yussef once again proves that he is a talented artist and very much deserving of those Brit Award nominations. Although Best New Artist, he's not really a new artist, is he? And also Best Alternative feels a bit sort of nondescript. But I suppose you have to give the credit where credit's due, even if it's not in the right categories. Congratulations to Mr. Days on those nominations. But yeah, this is a really good record. And even if you're not massively into jazz, I suggest you go check it out, because it's very much doing its own thing here, and it does it very well.